Everybody, yo, down, down, down. Everybody, yo, rock your body now. The Shire Show's in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're with our special co-host, Spiky. Spiky, a few words for our guest today. There, she said it. If you didn't catch her on this, please go to YouTube and you will see this. Unfortunately, my camera isn't recording 18 minutes of our podcast. It's recording just around... Spiky, don't go anywhere. Just stay here. It's recording just around 10 to 11 minutes of the podcast. So you're going to see the initial half of the podcast, in which probably Spiky will stay if she chooses to. But she will leave if she chooses to. Isn't that right, Spiky? She replies yes. Today's podcast is going to be a continuation of the previous podcast, which was regarding racism. So I told you about how racism affected me. I told you about how it affected my confidence in front of girls, which was a big part of my teenage life, because I had so many crushes and I didn't have the confidence to speak to many of them. And then I had the confidence to speak to them. I developed the confidence to speak to them, but I flopped, flop, like a pancake flop. Yeah, I flopped on so many occasions. And then I don't remember crying over many of them, but I definitely felt bad. But I'm glad I didn't cry over. I may have cried over a few of them, but overall I'm pretty strong, I must say. After all the flop attempts, I can now say that I'm actually happy with myself, and I may not necessarily I may not be in a relationship, or like Spiky, don't go anywhere. Spiky, don't go anywhere. See, I have Spiky, and Spiky is with me always. And if she wants to go down, if she wants to go down, she'll go, but I'll still be speaking. So it isn't like I need her over here. It's always good to have her. I know she wants to leave. I know she wants to just get down this chair. It's good to have her here. But if she leaves, Spiky, you can go. Go, get down. See there. Spiky's got down. If she leaves the chair, she's still in the room. She's still around somewhere. And she's the greatest kind of girlfriend you can have. I mean, she doesn't care two hoots about what you're doing throughout the day. If you tell her to sit with you, she'll sit with you. No, I don't think girlfriends do that. If you ask her kindly, then she sits with you. They become very excited if you take them for walks. And once I did that, I tried to ask a girl out for a walk, but the same trick doesn't apply to all kind of girlfriends. So this girlfriend of mine loves walks, but that other girl whom I tried to ask a walk, she wasn't too excited about it. Yes, what? I wrote a community newspaper yesterday, and I published it, and I wrote the name of one of my neighbors. I published the name of one of my neighbors wrong. His name was maybe Abhishek. I wrote it as Anirudh, and I published it. And my mother came to correct that between the podcast. So that was the brief pause. This is an unedited, raw podcast. So you're not going to have any of those edits. So you're going to get to know a live feedback of everything that's happening in and around me through this podcast. Getting back to the topic, Spiky, come back to the seat. Come back. No, come back. Spiky, come here. I'm starting the podcast again. Please come here, Spiky. See, always be kind to girls. Come here. Sit up. Sit up. Come here. Up. 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 Come. Good. Good girl. Come up. Spiky, come up. Come up. Come up. Okay, fine. She's sitting beside me. She's not up. She's beside me. She can stay beside me. I'm going to continue with this podcast. Let's get it going. So, racism. I think the fact that I've been deviating from this podcast and been calling Spiky and talking about all random things can be an indication about how I'm not too happy or too excited about this topic, because it's something that still affects me. I'm being very honest about it, and I am okay with it being affecting me, in the sense I know I am better at dealing with somebody, or I'm better at dealing with situations in which I criticize myself for being dark brown, or if someone comes up to me and is racist against me, I know how to handle it better. I'm getting better at it. You can say I'm work in progress. And I always look up to people like Denzel Washington for inspiration. And I have one more person who looks like Denzel Washington. He's my father's friend and batchmate. His name is Murli. And he's also from south of India, the pride of India. And he also looks very handsome. He's in the Air Force. And he looks very very smart in the uniform. So anytime I feel insecure, or anytime I feel that I should have had, actually the amazing part is I never also visualize or imagine myself to be in a different color. I never imagined myself to be shade brown. When I was a child, I thought purple would be better than brown. I didn't want brown, I wanted purple. I was actually using a sketch pen to color myself purple one day. My father stopped me because I started out with my testicles. That was too much information. I'm very sorry. And I was 6 or 7 years old then. I didn't know what my testicles did at that time. Why am I sharing all this? Spiky, you're a non-judgmental dog, right? I can share anything with you, right? There you go. That's why it's called the Tushar Show. That's why it's my show, because I can share anything. And Spiky is not saying anything. So if you have comments and you have feedback which doesn't really appeal to me, I'm going to always take Spiky's opinion and perspective and judgment about the feedback. Moving on. I wanted to be purple. I wanted to be something else. Maybe be in a bodysuit or something. And it takes... And I wouldn't also say that the society is not racist. Society is racist in many ways. In finding a suitable partner for marriage, they like beautiful people, and the media has made fair beautiful, fair and lovely. But it's actually black beauty. There's a lot of beautiful in brown and in black, which the media hasn't seen. And because of the media and the way the society functions or whatever, I was again bullied, or I was again teased. Amma, I'm recording a podcast, please don't come in now. My mother had come in again. I was again teased. in Delhi, which was a shift from Pune to Delhi. I told you about how I really loved my friends in Pune and the social life and the community in Pune. I had none of that in Delhi. Because I was new to the school, I didn't make the same effort to make friends, and we all lived in various parts of a very big city. It wasn't like Pune where we shared the same school and shared the same residence complex. Delhi was a big place. Pune was relatively more small. Like, we had a small world in a big city, but Delhi was a big city in all. And I couldn't make friends there. I couldn't make very nice friends. I did make friends. I produced another short film there, 2 short films over there. I made some good film friends. Ayush, shout out to you. But I was studying science, and the pressure of academics was overshadowing my social life and my fun life. So 2 not good things happening, plus racism and a partial kind of bullying about my skin color. So in Pune, I had a good social life to balance out the racism, so it didn't affect me so much. In Delhi, the social life is gone, my friends are gone, and there's bullying, and there is bullying by my bench partner, who I felt at that time wasn't being understanding towards a new student. And that was really... okay, that wasn't really... it was tough dealing with him. And one day I got frustrated with where I was and what I was dealing with. I had to go to YouTube and type out how to deal with frustrating people. And that takes us to the next chapter of the podcast, of how the podcast started. But here is where this fellow classmate, who, don't get me wrong, is very smart and very talented and very humorous and very funny and very critically he's street smart and he's critically smart. He's a talented personality in a variety of ways, right? But he was insensitive towards me, and sometimes he was very insensitive towards me. Sometimes he was insensitive towards his classmates, sometimes he was very insensitive towards his classmates. And he managed to get a girlfriend too. So, I mean, there are a lot of ironies in life. I don't know how he managed to get a girlfriend, because I couldn't see the logic. But I am guessing he became a little more sensitive towards her, and that's how he got the girlfriend. That's how he was able to convince her to be with him, or that's how she was able to tolerate him, or that's how she was able to convince him to be with her, or I don't know what their magic formula was, but good for them. I never got it. I was jealous of them. They were a cute couple, but I was angry about the fact that he was insensitive towards me, plus he got a girlfriend. I didn't know how that added up. I still don't know, but I think I will figure this out and I will get back to you on some podcast. It's an interesting topic to think about. Really, it is. But that's for another day. We'll get to why... yeah, I think they just enjoyed each other's company. And she was a new student, and she she didn't understand much of the local language, in which he abused a lot. And I think that's how he he escaped that part. If she knew what he was really saying and what he was really meaning in the local language, I doubt she would be with him. But she would still be with him, but I don't know how that would be. That would be a fun story. I also had a crush on her, that's why I was jealous. Anyway, moving on. I'm happy I said it. This is my show. Yeah, so I had to deal with that racism. I'm so happy I said that. I never told it to her, by the way. But both of them were absolutely... They were a cute couple. But this guy was very insensitive. And that's all. I don't blame him for that. I don't. And I've learned to forgive him. I've forgiven him, and that's in the past. He's taught me life lessons. He's taught me things, even school. Like I told you, my sister was a guardian angel. He was a guardian angel. He was another guardian angel. So all the people who I am talking about right now, they were people sent to me from my creator to put me on the right path of self-actualization, to realize who I am, to realize I can love openly. See, I had to get past jealousy. I had to get past the fear of myself. I had to get past the fact that being brown is okay and brown is beautiful. And I didn't realize this in Delhi still. I realized it very, very recently. But it affected me so much. And because of all that people were saying and all that people were doing, and the way society was functioning and the way I was getting teased, I reached an upper limit of tolerance. And that's when I went online, and that's when I searched for a deeper meaning and a deeper purpose in self-development. And that took me to YouTube, which is where a new chapter of the podcast starts. And the name of the chapter will be Brendan Burchard. Brendan Burchard. Man, I love you. I'm going to speak about you and to the world about you in the next chapter. About you and many other people. But I've been telling the story of Brendan Burchard so many times. But this was the backstory to how I reached Brendan Burchard. We have reached that point. And I would like to thank those two people. I'd like to thank my benchmate, probably his girlfriend also, and my whole class over there, even though I didn't find it to be very supportive. And it's not their fault, and I'm sure they must have felt, if they feel that they have been supportive towards me, they were special in a different way. But the kind of support I wouldn't have felt supportive, because I didn't believe in myself. It wasn't their fault, it was my fault. And it wasn't my classmates or benchmates' fault that he was teasing me. It was kind of up to me, because I was insecure about it, and that's why it affected me. And he made me realize that through his teasing. Unknowingly, he made me realize that. I have a picture of a shirt. Let me see if the camera is still recording. Just hold on. Okay, it's recording. Just a minute. This is the shirt. This is a shirt that all my classmates signed for me on the farewell day of college. And this is an example of, this is what they wrote for me. So the girl, who was obviously very, very sweet, her nickname, okay, I won't reveal anything because this may be too sensitive for for the world. She was very sweet, okay. She asked me, what do you want me to write? I told her, write, all the best, you handsome hunk. And that's what she wrote. And she signed it. So that's what she signed over here. And then I asked, and then of course her boyfriend, my partner in 11th standard, who wasn't very kind to me in 11th, he he just made what is this, apostrophe or sign, and he put black handsome hunk. All the best, you handsome black hunk. And he signed. So that was his farewell message to me, and that was her farewell message to me. So I'm a handsome hunk in someone's eyes, I'm a black handsome hunk in someone's eyes, I'm a dark brown or chocolate brown handsome hunk in my own eyes. And I'm happy with all three definitions now. I would like to thank them, my favorite class. I just said my favorite class, and I can't believe it, because oh my god, I all this time I've been saying APS was my favorite class, and there were these kind of bad memory blocks in my mind about my Delhi class, which never made me say they were my favorite class. But when I see the shirt, everyone has written something so nice about me. Keep it up, amazing behavior and attitude. That was my biology teacher. Shout out to Remy ma'am. Then, when in dark, reach for stars. That's my English teacher, Geetanjali ma'am. And then, God bless you with all the happiness. Do well. That was my chemistry teacher in 11th standard, Vandana ma'am. And then there are people who have written sex, booze and drugs in abundance. And this must be someone called Tushar. He was another Tushar in my school. I thank him a lot, because I mean, someone should be wishing you about such good things in abundance. Exactly. And okay, fine, I stop myself here for this podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Do subscribe to the Tushar Times and the Tushar Broadcasting CO on Instagram. Support me on Patreon at the rate patreon.com, www.patreon.com/your_local_podcaster. Then yep, you can find me on all the other social media platforms. On Twitter, I'm Tushar_007. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I will meet you again next time.